You've heard of online banks, major banks, and customer-owned banks, but now it's time to meet the new generation of neobanks and money apps. And no, neobanks is just not another buzzword. These are real banking and money management alternatives that have already flourished overseas and are about to do the same in Australia in a big way. Many people get confused between neobanks and money apps. However, a distinction needs to be made. While neobanks are fully licensed and regulated banks that offer deposits and loan products which you might expect from any other bank, credit union, or mutual, money apps are slightly different. There's no neat bracket to which money banks fit in. This is due to them being built for different needs. Some money apps provide alternative travel money solutions for Aussie travelers with prepaid debit cards and apps, which allows them to make purchases and split bills into multiple currencies or to send money overseas for less. Other apps are for equipping Australians with budgeting and tracking tools to give them a broader picture of where their financial health is at. Through these tools, you can see your finances, not just on one account, but different accounts as well, even different banks. Some of the neobanks in the market include Ninja, Upbank, and 86400, and some of the money apps include Pocketbook, Raise, and Splitwise. I'll do a more detailed video on each of these, otherwise I'll keep going on with this video. What really sets neobanks apart from traditional banks is the technology. The technology they use is more new, interesting, and innovative. After all, neobanks still offer the same products as traditional banks, such as savings account, debit account, or loan products, and they still have the same levels of security as traditional banks. Unlike many existing banks, neobanks have developed their own platform that is fully digitized, meaning unlike the digital versions of traditional banks, neobanks are 100% digital. As they're 100% digital, that means they have no physical branches or anything physical. And due to this, they have fewer overhead costs, which allow them to give more competitive rates and lower fees. Currently, Ninja has a high interest savings account known as Stash, where you get a competitive interest rate of 2.25%. That's right, 2.25%. However, currently, the new Stash accounts have been paused due to the recent incident on the news. Now you may still be wondering, are neobanks and money apps truly safe? When it comes to your hard-earned money, I understand you want to check the reliability and credibility of the financial institution. But just like traditional banks, neobanks are also authorized and licensed by APRA and ASIC. For example, the neobank known as Upbank, their bank account along with savings account are issued directly by Bendigo and Adelaide Bank, which are authorized deposit-taking institutions. They follow the Australian government's deposits guarantee. That means deposits up to $250,000 with Upbank are protected by the financial claims scheme, just like any other traditional bank. The same is the case for deposit with neobanks such as Ninja, Volt, and 86400. But instead of partnering up with other banks such as Upbank has done with Bendigo and Adelaide Bank, they have their own ADI licenses. Money apps are slightly different, however they still must possess a regulated license or they must partner up with someone who does. The differences between neobanks and traditional banks include money management. One of the main selling points for neobanks and money apps is the ability to provide users with much more detailed data, spending insights, and comprehensive saving tools that traditional banks do not offer. This is all part of a push to provide more personal banking, which is one of the reasons that neobanks are preferred over traditional banking. Some of the money management tools include a detailed transaction history, so who you paid, the company's name, the company's logo, and when you paid, which is accurate to the second, and where you paid, so it's accurate to the suburb. Next on the list is personalized spending updates. So there's weekly and monthly reports telling you where you spent your money, whether it's on food, transport, or any other category, alongside how it compares to the previous week or month. Another benefit they have is budgeting tools. Within the app, you can set up personalized budgeting goals. They also include roundup savings. For example, you make a purchase and it was $9.50. An app such as Raise would take and round it up to the nearest dollar, so it would be $10, and that 50 cents would be invested into the stock market. Lastly, another thing about them is that they offer disposable virtual cards. The money app known as Revolt allows you to use a one-time only use card to prevent fraudulent activities. Another major distinction is that neobanks are travel friendly. Neobanks are really pushing their cards and accounts to make them as travel friendly as possible, as Aussies really love to travel. Some of the features include no fees. Many neobanks come with debit cards and prepaid cards with a zero international transaction fee. along with free ATM withdrawals. Another feature is bill splitting. Money apps such as Pelkin allow you to split bills in multiple currencies while you're traveling. The last item on this list is known as value international transfers. The money app known as Revolt allows select cardholders to make international money transferred using the interbank rate. The interbank rate is basically what the banks charge each other. To conclude this video, please hit like, hit subscribe, and click on the notification bell icon so you don't miss out on any more. And besides that, thanks for watching. Goodbye.